Hello, my name is Havla Gianetta, and welcome to the 11th and penultimate reading update from my GoFundMe campaign to finish a memoir that I've been working on for years. This excerpt is a memory that happened a few years after college, after I came out as bisexual, and it took place at an apple orchard. I begin every excerpt with a quote, and this is from Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. It was something central which permeated, something warm which broke up surfaces and rippled the cold contact of man and woman, or of women together. For that she could dimly perceive. She resented it, had a scruple picked up heaven knows where, or, as she felt, sent by nature, who is invariably wise. Yet she could not resist sometimes yielding to the charm of a woman, and whether it was pity, or their beauty, or that she was older, or some accident, she did undoubtedly then feel what men felt, only for a moment, but it was enough. And that is an abridged quote from Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway. Good morning, Hobbs. I saw Logan wave out of the corner of my eye and nodded silently, determined not to get sidetracked by his handsome smile and problematically muscular arms. Don't look at him, don't encourage him, and don't touch him, I told myself. There was too much to do anyway, even though it was chilly out. The sun was shining and the orchard would likely soon be crawling with day trippers eager for the best picks of autumn. I'd just begun unloading one of the apple crates when another cheerful, "Good morning," interrupted me. Great, our first customer. We technically didn't open for a few minutes, but I nodded again, choosing not to look directly at the overly chipper young woman who had parked too close to the orchard trees. "So what kind of apples do you have this season?" she asked. I sighed, too busy to pay close attention. "Oh, all the bins are labeled," I gestured before picking up another crate. "Feel free to look around." Instead of browsing, the woman bounced in front of me, commanding my attention. "But I want you to show me around," she insisted. I glared up at the woman, annoyed, but her winsome smile caught me off guard. She seemed to be about my age, but taller and broader, her dark hair straight under her pale winter pom-pom hat, her prominent cheekbones pink from the frosty air. "Tell me about the apples," she pressed, and I flushed as her glossy lips simpered at me again. "Oh, okay," I stammered, feeling unexpectedly shy. Um, well, I turned to walk forward, but suddenly I was like Bambi on ice, tripping and falling against one of the apple bins. "Are you okay?" the woman chuckled while I tried to recover as gracefully as possible. No, I thought. I was definitely not okay. Never before had I been so instantly attracted to a woman, and I began panicking. "Okay, well," I continued, struggling to think straight. "Here we have the Fuji. The sign says Gala," she pointed. "Right. Oh, sorry, they look alike," I stuttered. "The Fuji are right behind them. Both varieties are pretty sweet and good for snacking. The ones I have here are called Pink Ladies, my favorite. Very crisp and tangy," I added, lifting one of the pinkest ones up to show her. I always joke that if Barbie had an apple, this would be it. "That's funny," she giggled. "You're so funny." I giggled too, then stopped myself as the woman's laughing eyes lingered on mine. Was she flirting with me? No, of course not, Havla. Get your mind out of the gutter. "Okay," I huffed, taking a step away from her as she followed me. "These are Granny Smiths, which are ideal for pies and tarts and baking, and those yellowy ones are called Albemarle Pippins. They're actually pretty rare and used in cider. So are we allowed to taste the apples?" The woman cut me off as she stepped toward a bin filled with Red Delicious, reaching down to touch the ruby-skinned fruit with her bare hands. "Oh, I stumbled over my words as the woman looked up at me intently, her fingers continuing to caress the apples with long, fondling strokes. Not really. They haven't been washed yet, so..." "But how else are we supposed to tell if we like them?" she asked innocently. Without waiting for a response, she picked up one of the Red Delicious apples and brought it to her glossy mouth. "No, really," I began. "They're not organic. They have pesticides." But it was too late. The smiling woman kept her gaze fixed on me as she bit into the apple's flesh, then closed her eyes as she savored it. Mmm, she groaned. "So good." Her eyes opened up again with an unmistakable lure of playfulness and desire, while all I could do was balk at her, trying to gather my wits. You know, I just remembered that there's something that I have to get something real quick. Logan, I yelled awkwardly as I backed away. Could you come help this customer, please? I need to go get something. I turned to see Logan, who, I realized, had been watching this whole exchange with an amused expression on his face, and seemed only too happy to have the coquettish woman's attention all to himself. As soon as he began walking over, I skedaddled as quickly as I could toward the lavatory, chanting "Help, help, help" in my spirit the whole way there. As soon as I was inside, I checked to make sure all the stalls were empty, then locked the door, readying myself for a loud, angry prayer. "What was that?" I rasped, trying to keep my voice low enough so that no one outside could hear me. "What the fuck was that? I thought you already dealt with this." God's answering thought came immediately. "Havilah, calm down." No, I will not calm down. How many times do I have to tell you? I never wanted a sexuality in the first place, and now it's getting out of control. "Do you trust me?" God's gentle voice interrupted. "No," I hissed. "Why would I trust you when you keep ignoring my requests? I thought that the closer I got to you, the fewer people I would be attracted to. But instead, it's like the opposite is happening. Now I'm attracted to men, women, everybody. I don't want this anymore. You know what? I don't even want to be straight. I just want to be attracted to the one person you chose for me." I hesitated, unable to think of the correct term. Like unisexual or monosexual or whatever you call it when you can only be attracted to one person. That's what I want. Instead of hearing the comforting or wise response I was expecting, I gritted my teeth as rich peals of divine laughter floated around me. Did God actually think this was funny? "Why are you laughing?" I growled. "You're all powerful and you're the one who wants me to be monogamous. So if you want me to be straight, then just make me straight." Thank you so much for listening. Again, that was my 11th update. I'm going to have one more that I will post later this week, and that will be it for this campaign.